And I love that you have that dance background, which makes a lot of sense because in your film,
oh my God,
Shang-Chi. Am I saying that right?
People say Shang, people say Shang. Either one.
You pronounce it for me, so that, because pronunciation, in my opinion, it does matter.
Thank you.
I want to make sure we all know how we actually pronounce the title of your film.
Yeah, I would say Shang-Chi. Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Perfect.
I think you are extraordinary in it, and what got me initially was your physicality. Because it's not that I didn't see it coming, but I was like, dear Lord, he's so specific and graceful, and I don't know, you were absolutely stunning in the film. I would assume there's a lot of rehearsal that goes into something like that. Tell me about a little of the context, because I find this stuff fascinating. Like, what did you have to go through?
No, absolutely. Well, when I got the part, they'd kind of asked me about my martial arts background and experience, which of course I exaggerated because, I wanted the job really badly and I wanted to be like, the best possible candidate. And then I actually got it.
So you bluffed your way into the part. I love this.
I had done some work as an on-again, off-again stuntman, but if we're honest, I think I was more of a dancer than I ever was a martial artist. So I think it comes with its body awareness.
Yes.
So I had that kind of going for me, and then I just wanted to dive into the process, and I knew it would be very exhaustive. And so pretty much from the moment I was cast, when I was still in Toronto, I started working with people and trainers and learning how to move, and my God, and really like stretching into it, because flexibility is such a big part of what dancers do. And it's also a big part of martial arts, that there's a lot of through lines, between the two disciplines. And I had such awful flexibility, like my groin and my tendons were just so stiff. And so a big part of that early process was just like bending my body and trying to rip those legs apart, like
the fascia to open.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's how it started, and then we kind of moved to LA to start prepping, and then eventually to Sydney where we shot. And when we got there and more of the stunt people came down, I started doing more structured learning, and so it was like going in every day, working with instructors from just a variety of different disciplines, learning not just like the hits of stage combat, punch here, move here, but also a bit of like the philosophy behind each martial art. And so Tai Chi is a big part of our movie, and is a big part of my mother's character, and that part,
so beautiful.
The flowing and and it comes with its own physicality. So I had to learn that, and it was really like I felt like it was a full-time job in addition to the whole acting part of it. But what was great too is like it was my first movie going in, and so I came in with like my own emotional baggage.
Is that your actual first movie?
It was the first, yeah. I'd done TV, and like
I'm so blown away.
What a
I
crazy
didn't realize
first movie to do, right?
Wow,
it was,
sir, you are stunning. Gosh. Did you feel that kind of support on your set?
I was surprised. Similar to you, I think I went in expecting with a machine like Marvel that I was just going to be a tiny, tiny little cog in the wheel, and then I was just going to get churned out in the way that because you can get real cynical about these big budget blockbuster movies and big studios and all of that. It's a credit to Kevin Feige, who's the president of Marvel Studios, to Louis D'Esposito and Victoria Alonso, who have just like shepherded really Marvel as a gigantic, titanic franchise. They work with filmmakers that really have a personal touch to their work and can make really intimate films in the space of like the massive move, the money generating, whatever you want to call it. So I was surprised by how much I was able to give back, and I was asked to provide feedback at every kind of opportunity. The first time I read the script, the day that we were shooting the script, just to say, hey, how are you feeling about everything? And then, a crazy thing happens is that you kind of get used to it, and then you show up and you're like, I have ideas. Let's get ready to work. And that's, for an actor, there is nothing more fulfilling. Right. Then it's not just about saying the words in a scene, but it's about the holistic experience, the all encapsulating experience of, am I truly, truly taking ownership of this character? Yeah. For someone who is as inexperienced as I was going in, I think I came out of it a lot more sure of myself creatively and also as a performer.
That's incredible.
Something you said really struck me about figuring out the right balance of choreography and also making it appear as if it is not over choreographed, which is something that's was equally important for our movie. We worked with an incredible action director in Brad Allen, who sadly passed away last year, but he came from the Jackie Chan stunt team and really, I think, has such an awareness of body and of fighting in a way that is dance-like. And I think he played such a big role alongside our fight choreographers in making each action sequence feel like a living, breathing thing that was a part of a story that you wanted to watch because you did not know what was going to happen next.
Your director, Destin Daniel Cretton.
Yes. Yeah.
Cretton. And David Callahan with an M. They are, correct me if I'm wrong, of Asian descent or Asian?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that's amazing. Right. I mean, I would wager that adds to cultural authenticity in regards to your film. What are your thoughts on that?
I would 100% agree with that. And not just cultural authenticity in like an Eastern Asian sense, right? Like the parts, of our film that are set in mystical land of Ta Lo, that is a place that is deeply enshrined in ancient Chinese mysticism. But also speaking to the experience of growing up Asian in America, right? Which is its own unique perspective and uniquely different. And so I just loved, first of all, Destin is such a phenomenally thoughtful filmmaker. I watched Short Term 12 and I was so touched by it. It was one of my favorite movies. And when I learned that he was going to direct Shang-Chi, the feeling that I had was relief. I don't know if you experienced this. I think in my community, we call it rep sweats of whenever a project is announced with an Asian cast, the feeling that you get at first is not necessarily elation or joy or like, yes, we need this. It's nervousness. It's like, oh my God, are they going to get this right? Or is it going to be the other thing? If you had just looked at those comic books that were, written in the 1970s by white people and you were to say, adapt that into a movie, I think there's just so many ways that it could have gone wrong.
Tony Leung. I said it right?
I think so.
Because I don't want to disrespect him because, dear Lord,
he's the GOAT.
Incredible. The GOAT. He's the GOAT. And for that matter, Michelle Yeoh, I will confess to, I'm a big Michelle Yeoh fan. Like, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was one of the most beautiful performances I have ever seen, personally, in my opinion. And also, I love that she was a Bond girl in her own way.
1000%. Tomorrow Never Dies, baby.
Tomorrow Never Dies. It's just like, oof, it's iconic. I want to know, what was it like working with them?
Oh man, incredible. Very different people, but a similar, an aura of warmth and friendliness. Tony is famously shy and very, very soft spoken and just so humble that you would never know his stature and his fame just by looking at him, because he is just such a well-mannered individual and walks with such like a wonder. It's in his body language, the way, he's just, when he's exploring sound stages, he just loves walking and observing. And then the camera rolls, and then you see the intensity in his eyes, and you're like, holy crap. This is, I'm literally watching mastery unfold. And Tony is such a master of the art of stillness, of these tiny changes and shifts in expression that it almost doesn't even feel like he's doing anything. But then you look at the monitor and you're like, holy, like this guy's breaking my heart.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just absolutely legendary. And it was just even incredible just being able to sit next to him in between takes and to be like, what do you do on your spare time? And it turns out our boy Tony is a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. So Tony Leung loves snowboarding, loves water sports, slalom skiing, wakeboarding. He's just he just loves it. And I kind of love that. Yeah.
I like that.
The same of which I can say for Michelle, who is absolutely, phenomenally graceful, and I got to fight with both of them, which is crazy.
Come on!
I bow to them. Michelle too really surprised me with how goofy she is, because she plays all these characters. If you watch Crazy Rich Asians and you even into like, she plays these badasses that are like, like they don't take crap from anyone. They're very serious. But then you meet her, and she's, first of all, she's every bit as badass in real life, but she's also like kind of a goofball.